Hi guys, welcome to the video. This pour is going to be a birch trees pour. What I'm trying to do is create this looking up through the trees as opposed to looking into the trees. Okay? And the one thing I love about living in Thailand is I'm never very far away from the forest. So my inspiration actually came from a little area over the back there, some trees looking up, so I took a photograph and that's what I'm going to try to replicate. So the first step was to do a background pour, not really a pour, just a background sky. And what I didn't want, I want to try and focus on this depth of field looking into the trees, so I didn't want any horizontal lines. So a couple of days ago I did the pour on the canvas. Let's have a look. Okay, so here's the canvas, nice and dry. A few problems with my base coat actually. One or two little cracks where I left the paint a bit thick. You may have seen that on the video, so a lesson there for you, don't leave lumpy base coat. But we'll work around that and we'll cover it with some camouflage later. So the next step is I want to try and lay out the composition. And when you do a birch tree pour, you're looking into the forest. The trees taper, but only quite slightly, because that's just the natural growth of the trees. I'm trying to create this depth of field where you're looking into the looking up into the trees, so the tree trunks will get narrow a lot more. Okay, it'll be much more defined. So I like to sketch out first, just give myself an idea of where I'm going with the paint. Now I'm going to try and mask out a similar sort of line. And for that, I use the regular off-white masking tape. Okay. Now the problem I see quite often with masking tape is that as the paint is sitting on top of the masking tape gets a little bit soft and the paint seeps underneath, so you lose your defined edge. Okay. Here's a little trick that I learned many years ago when I was doing a lot of home decorating back in the UK. Use a little bit of emulsion paint along the leading edge of the masking tape. Okay. So we need to dry this emulsion paint before the masking tape goes soft. To help it along, I use a little warm hairdryer. So now we should have a good seal along the edge of the masking tape. Maybe it's not 100% perfect, but I genuinely find that it's a big improvement, and I don't get that big seepage and causing me a lot of work later. Okay, so that's touch dry now. Okay, so now we can move on to the next step. Most of the work that you've seen me do so far, I have learned from the amazing Veronica Nikolova in her course studying her tutorials. However, the next step I learned from a lady named Catherine on Facebook, and she did a birch trees pour and used finger painting to fill in for the tree trunks. So we're going to try that. Okay. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll put a link to both Veronica and Catherine. I think Catherine's page is called Wall Art by Saffron. So I'll put a link on there. Oh yeah, and if you're on my YouTube, please click the old like thingy, and if you want to see more of this, click subscribe. I don't get paid anything from YouTube, but if I know you like it, then I like doing it, and there's more coming. Okay, so I'm just going to put a bit of oxide black onto my piece of plastic, and titanium white. So here we go. Let's give it a try. Now for the fun part. So, yeah, it looks a little bit light at the moment, going up into the trees. Now, we need to let this dry, and then we start the work on the branches, the twigs and the leaves. So let's not hurry this. I'm on a new fitness campaign, okay? Doctor's orders. He thinks I'm a bit overweight. The last time I was there, he said, don't eat anything fatty. I said, what, like French fries or burgers? He said, no, don't eat anything fatty. Not polite, huh? Anyway, I'm off now on my new fitness campaign. I'm going to run a bath and then a brisk walk down to the pub and a taxi back. The doctor did say golf is a good exercise, so maybe I'll try and watch the golf channel for a couple of hours when I get back, and then we can start phase 3 or 4. See you later, guys. Bye bye. Hi guys, welcome back. The weather changed, so I've called out to see a friend. I'll explain. I made it to the pub, I made it home. I didn't do the golf channel. Instead, I watched a movie, The Invisible Man. Amazing. He makes a suit that makes him invisible. Well, I reckon I could do that with paint. So I've been messing about while this was drying, and I've come down to see my friend in Bangkok, Chloe. I call her the Mad Professor, and I've come up with a recipe, and she's mixing it now. So let's see how that goes. I'll keep you posted. Anyway, back to the main thing. A confession. I'm not an artist, okay? I've been pouring since November. What's that, 3 months? And I haven't actually painted anything with a paintbrush since I was at school. I was 15 years. Yeah, 15 years old at school. So that's 25 years ago. What? That's 30. That's 50 years ago. Okay, happy? So I haven't painted anything for 50 years. And I see the artists on YouTube and they can paint with both hands, and I can't do shading with a paintbrush. So I love Posca pens, okay? So we're going to start now developing the basic pour that we did with our finger painting and trying to make these things look like birch trees, okay? So I'll be using Posca pens. For shading, I use wet tissues and paintbrushes, okay? So a little bit of water to help me along, and I'll show you how I go about doing my shading and drawing with my friendly Posca pen. My favourite one is this one. This is the narrow tip, 0.7 millimeter, and I use this pen an awful lot. Okay. So what we're going to try and do is make these look like trees, okay? And I don't want nice curvy lines. With birch trees, they're a little bit gnarly, they're a little bit jagged, so I try and keep the pen upright, and that gives me more of a jagged line than a nice smooth line, okay? So, here we go. So what I do is, as I say, I couldn't paint your portrait. I'm just too clumsy with paintbrushes. So I use a damp paintbrush and I just mark up the area that I want to shade. Now this is new to me, the next step. Previously, when I've done birch trees and I've done the foliage, I use Posca pens. It takes forever. So I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm trying to use paint and cotton buds, okay? I'm just going to try it out first. I've never done this before. So I'm not quite sure how best to approach it. Okay. Oh, right, okay. Apparently Chloe has made a mix of my recipe, my idea, and we're going to give it a try. She's very kindly donated one of the ornaments, and we're going to set this up here. We've covered her table with these silicone baking mats, and we're going to set this up and basically just pour the paint over it. Let's see how it goes. Wow, amazing. Did you see that? Okay, I'm going to get back to my studio and start mixing more. Have a great day, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. A few takeaways for me from this pour. I think my trees, the trunks are a little bit too dark, the black too over. They should be lighter. I couldn't camouflage all of the cracks in the base coat, so they're there. And I think I went a little bit heavy with the leaves. But other than that, 6 out of 10, I'm happy. So I'm glad well, I hope you've enjoyed it. Some lessons from my mistakes. I mean, that's the idea of my videos. I'm not a great artist, I'm not a great teacher, so I try and share, what you see is what you get. It's not just a video of the perfect pour and then leave you to try and work out how to fix it yourself. So hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. So there we go. Sorry? Oh yes, the invisible paint. Good news and bad news. We got it working really good. I managed to make a batch of it, and I was hoping to tell you today that it's on sale on my Facebook shop. Unfortunately, somebody knocked a load of it over the box, and now we can't find it. But I did manage to do one small pour with the invisible paint before we lost it. So, here we go. Sorry? Oh, it's upside down. I know what you're saying. Oh, it's just an empty frame. Not. Look, on the back, no paint. On the front, invisible paint. Amazing, huh? See you soon, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.